Notice how I said shakes her booty. Notice what Madison says to describe it. She says, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lily. This is Lily's Shelf, and today we are talking Love is Blind Season 8, Episode 2. What is this voice that Mason and Madison were using to talk to each other in the pods? Like, again, they're not talking about anything deep. It's once again, let's talk about the physical, sexual tension, not do you like long walks on the beach? Like, dang, I'll even take that. But okay, you know, whatever. It's like they're intentionally talking low and intentionally talking like quieter a little bit. I don't know. I was just getting the vibe that like it wasn't genuine. Throughout this episode, I kept saying I really like Joey and Monica. I couldn't remember their names at first, so I said the golden retriever and like his connection, and I was like, who? I couldn't remember who it was, but Joey and Monica, I'm liking them so far. And I'm trying to hurry because my laptop about to die. Whoop. I still feel like Mason is more open and not childish, but like more open and goofy and just fun when he's with Meg as opposed to when he talks to Madison. Like, I feel like he does also get deeper with Meg. And then I like that Meg asked about like moving. She didn't say like moving with her, but like if Mason would be open to like moving outside the city to like this little countryside, but then also having like a home in the city. And like as she's detailing like this picturesque farm style life, Mason is just eating it up. Guys, I don't think y'all understand. Mason was eating out the palm of Meg's hand. Like, you could tell this man, the more that Meg talked, the more he was like, this my girl for real. And quite honestly, I love that for him. I do. I know we talk about how like the pods are contrived and stuff like that, but like when I start seeing people like really starting to like connect, even if it's not as deep as I think it should be, since we're on episode 2 and these episodes are so long. And again, I point out the fact when we spend an hour, well, not really an hour, but y'all know I'm being facetious, when we spend like hours in the women's quarters or the men's quarters, I'm seeing all this diversity, and it just vanishes when we get back to the pod dates. Like, did y'all say, okay, DEI has gone away, so we have a quota, we can only show 2, possibly 3, depending on who people match with, people of color? Because we have only seen, like, I think we saw an Asian lady in the women's quarters. There was another black guy in the men's quarters. I think there was another black woman. There was another black woman in the women's quarters. I don't see any of them when we're doing the pod dates. None of them. They're vanished. The casting said, y'all can go home. Y'all can go home. We don't need you for this part or something. Because, baby, I'm like, where did they go? Devin and Virginia and Devin and Brittany have a couple more dates. When Virginia is on her date with Devin and she said she's never dated a nice guy before, I had to side eye her just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because why not? And like, I wish instead of Devin saying like, you deserve to date a nice guy, which I definitely think that she does, I definitely agree, I wish he would have asked like, why have you never dated a nice guy? Like, what's your definition of a nice guy? I wish we would have gotten just more, especially since we be in these pods almost as long as the cast members. I'm like, if you gonna give me all this, give me some oomph, give me some substance. Like when Virginia said that, I wish if Devin did ask, because we'll never know, it never made it to production, but if he did ask, I wish they would have left it instead of leaving it on the cutting room floor, because I want to know, why has she never dated a nice guy before? We move on to Devin and Brittany when they were joking about how like their dad's name was both Willie, and they were like, Lord, I hope my dad don't have the same dad. I was cracking up. And then they talk about how, well, Brittany talks about how she grew up in a very like strict religious household, and so like she only listened to the gospel. I felt that. So I guess it wasn't only gospel, because during Christmas time we listened to like the the older generation like Christmas music, but it wasn't anything with like cursing or anything like that. I did like what she said about marriage and how it's a partnership, and kind of knowing that you will always have somebody that has your back and you in turn will always have theirs. I like that. We move on to Joey and Monica. They don't talk much before Joey drops down on one knee and he asks Monica to get engaged with him, which I thought was cute. Like, if fluffy romance had a name, I feel like it's Joey and Monica. Like, they just get very wholesome, just very like, oh. If no matter who Devin chooses, if they don't end up working out, I know something's up. Because it was different with Ashley and Tyler last season, because Tyler, quite honestly, he was giving me the ick. Something about him, it wasn't something, it was when the way he was praying over them, something about it just rubbed my spirit wrong. And then like the way he talked about Ashley, it was never about Ashley, it was about what she did for him and how he made her feel. So like I understand why they ended up not working out, but like the way Devin and Brittany and Devin and Virginia talk to each other, if they don't work out, I know something's up. And I know, well, I'm gonna leave it for when we get to the later episodes, but I just know, I have that in my mind, like if they don't work out, something is up. We get back to a date with Madison and Alex. Something about their connection I don't like. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but something I'm just like, I feel like Madison could connect better with somebody else. I don't know who, because I still feel like Mason has a better connection with Meg, but I just don't. Something about her connection with Alex, I'm not vibing with. I do appreciate though that on this date, Alex asked Madison how she deals with conflict. And Madison says, like, because she's seen the way her father handled conflict, she is more logical because she doesn't want to be the person that kind of reacts in anger. And I love that. I love that. And then Alex said that he's also very, he tries to be very calm and like work towards a resolution. And I like that too, quite honestly. And then they talk about the attachment styles. And quite honestly, throughout this whole day, I was just thinking, I love that they're letting us see this, because I think conversations like this are very, very important. And these are the kind of conversations I'm expecting the contestants to have on Love is Blind. Because Madison says that she is an avoidant because of the stuff that has happened in her childhood. Because this is the episode where she lets us know that her parents struggled with addiction and everything else, and when she was 12 she wrote them a letter basically begging them to choose between her or their addiction, and they did not choose her. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie y'all, when I heard that I started tearing up, because that's so heartbreaking. And so it makes sense why she's an avoidant, because she said, you know, after that I felt like relying on myself was the right choice. And either she said this episode or the last episode that is why she values a partner who does still have that good relationship with their family, because she wants that. I don't want to knock Alex's response to that, because I also see where he's coming from, because he is like, he latches on to somebody when he feels like they're pulling away. And so I do understand what he said when he said that they could potentially trigger each other, especially since he's been with extreme versions of that type of attachment style. But I don't know, because Madison did say that she was working on it, and I just felt like, this is why I say I don't know, because on one hand I feel like Alex could have given her a little bit more grace, because he was so silent. Like, I know he was processing, taking it in and all that other stuff, but I felt like he could have given her a bit more reassurance in the moment than he did. But on the other hand, considering his past experiences with that attachment style, I understand his hesitancy. So that's why I'm just like, I don't know how I want to feel about that. Mason and Madison go on this date. It's like the silent party type thing where you have like the headphones and like you're both listening to music and stuff like that. Mason slips up because he calls her Mads, right? But he's like, you know, I'm really liking you, Megs. What was that? Because Madison was like, huh? Because I don't think she heard him at first. And he was like, you know, this is really cool, Mads. I see you, Mason. I see you, Mason. Mason, if you're already making those slips, you might as well just go ahead and pursue Meg full time. Because again, it's Mason and Madison talk about more like surface level stuff. And then Madison brings up, y'all, I'm trying not to laugh because Madison brings up this mini skirt that she was wearing on one of her dates with Mason. Mason is gagged. He like, mini skirt? You were wearing that while you were with me? And Madison is like, yeah. And Mason is like, say less, honey. What? Like he was just gagged. He was just gagged. He could not stop smiling. And then, what did she say something? Oh, when she is bringing up, talking about the mini skirt, she turns around because they have like little mini golf clubs. They have those. When Madison is talking about the mini skirt, she turns around and she shakes her booty a little bit. Okay? Notice how I said shakes her booty. Notice what Madison says to describe it. She says, when I was telling you about that, I was twerking a little bit. Madison be so for real. Madison be so for real. That wasn't a twerk. Please. Because Mason was even more gagged. When she said that she was twerking, he was like, girl, I can't take much more. Like, he was gagged. He was like, you know how to twerk? And she was like, yeah. Girl. Now Madison, you know, I know, and the camera knows that wasn't twerking. What you were doing, shaking a little booty, it wasn't twerking though. Those are not synonymous. Mason and Meg have a date. I can't remember why it went south, but for some reason it went a little south. I think by that point, because we're almost at the end of the episode, that I was starting to check out a little bit, because I was like, babes, we're here for too long. We're here too long. My attention is waning. But for some reason it goes south. So Meg goes back to the women's quarters, and she's basically saying how like she hasn't told Mason that he's her top, but she wants him to give her some kind of reassurance. And she was basically like, just tell me you like me like that. I feel that, but at the same time, I feel like it's okay, especially in a situation like this, where y'all are talking and get to know each other. I feel like it's okay for you to go ahead and say, Mason, you're my top, if that's what you feel. Because I think she said more than once that Mason is her top. She just hasn't told Mason this. And so I feel like he might be thinking the same thing, where you were his top, but he doesn't want to tell you that because you haven't been giving him the reassurance that he's looking for, the reassurance that he needs. And so I'm like, one of y'all gonna have to say something, or I just feel like it's not gonna go anywhere. Then Joey and Monica, they're having, the typical hype up before the reveal. They're talking about how like they're worried if the other person won't like how they look, or maybe how like they dress, because Joey talks about how like he really loves these bright shirts. I feel like based on his personality, like the way he dresses makes absolute sense for the Joey that we have seen so far. Guys, tell me why right as the doors are opening, the episode ends. Love is Blind, you raggedy. Because how dare you? How dare you? I know I just said that these episodes be too long, but how dare you cut it there? Did I start watching episode 3 immediately? Absolutely. But I stopped for this review because I want my reaction to be in line when I talk about episode 3. Like, I don't want to already know if they feeling each other or not before I go into that review. So I'm gonna also cut this review right here. I'm so mad. I can't believe they would do us like that. But at the same time, yes, I can. Because they must have seen the viewers dropping after episode 1. Because, baby, I'm like, whoever told Love is Blind that these episodes were too short, look where you have us at now. Now they're dragging. They're too long. Where is the middle ground? Honestly, the previous seasons, I felt like we were getting just enough. But let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Are you watching this season? Are you waiting until it fully drops? I wish they would just go ahead and give us the whole season. If this is the pacing that they're going to have, I wish they would just go ahead and give us the whole season. Because at this rate, I might have forgotten what was going on in the episodes prior once we get like episodes 7 and 8. I don't know. But thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. And I will see y'all in my next one. Bye, guys.
This nugget of encouragement, things will be alright.